Option: Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas on the defensive after revelations he failed to disclose extensive luxury travel paid for by a billionaire Republican donor. All that and more now on Graf's Grievances. Flights on private jets, 9 days of island hopping on a super yacht staffed by a crew of attendants and even a private chef. That's how Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas enjoyed his summer vacation in 2019. However, Thomas, who makes a little over $260,000 a year, serving on the High Court, did not pay for any of this luxury vacation valued at over $500,000. According to ProPublica, Thomas's vacation was covered by real estate magnate and Republican Megan donor Harlan Crow. And 2019 wasn't an anomaly for Thomas. For more than 2 decades, ProPublica reports that Thomas accepted luxury trips from Crow without disclosing them. Thomas's failure to disclose these extravagant gifts from Crow appearing to violate the Ethics in Government Act of 1978, which requires justices to file a financial disclosure each year that lists gifts of more than $415. So will Thomas be punished? Likely not. The reason? In addition to the Supreme Court having no formal ethics code, the justices are generally left to police themselves when it comes to ethics issues. So why do we care that Thomas is getting these gifts from Crow? It's all about influence and the influence Crow or other donors might have over the justices on the Supreme Court. The justices on the court are dealing with the most important issues before our country, and to have a justice accepting gifts in excess of hundreds of thousands of dollars from a conservative mega donor paints a clear picture that the Justice Thomas, is not ruling based on the Constitution, which is what he's supposed to consult when making his rulings, but rather how a conservative mega donor might want him to vote or rule on a certain issue. Justices have lifetime tenure, Supreme Court justices, for a reason. It's to isolate them from outside pressure and potential corruption. Ironically, in this particular case, Crow met Justice Thomas after he became the justice. Wonder why Mr. Crow, a Republican mega donor, wanted to get close to Justice Thomas after he was appointed to the Supreme Court. These aren't lifelong friends. They didn't meet growing up. Crow, let's focus on him, has gained a unique form of access by spending days in private with one of the most powerful people in the world, Justice Thomas. So who is Harlan Crow? He's not just any billionaire. As we said, he has spent millions of dollars to shape the law and the judiciary. He has given more than $10 million to Republican candidates. He has donated to conservative institutes such as the Federalist Society. He was an early patron of the Club for Growth, an anti-tax organization. He has been on the board of AEI, another conservative institution, for over 25 years. He even helped finance a library dedicated to Justice Thomas and was involved in donating to a Tea Party group run by Justice Thomas's wife, Ginny Thomas. So what are the solutions? How do we address this issue? Members of Congress are prohibited from taking gifts worth more than $50, and Congress members need the approval from the Ethics Committee to take trips on private planes like the one that Justice Thomas did on Crow's jet. So the way to solve this, or to at least address it, is to make sure that there's a code of conduct for the Supreme Court justices that every justice has to follow. And in addition, the justices cannot be left to police themselves, whatever this code of conduct ends up being. They need Congress to have oversight. It's co-equal branches of government between the executive, legislative, and judicial. The judicial cannot be above Congress and the White House. At the end of the day, the point is to remember that judges are supposed to be public servants. They should not be flying around living the life of a billionaire. They got into this work to serve the public, not to enrich themselves or to live the lives of a wealthy person. Thanks for watching this episode of Graf's Grievances. Let me know what you think.